One mic, one voice. You can change the world, it's your choice. One mic, one voice. You can change the world, it's your choice. One mic, one voice. You can change the world, it's your choice. One mic, one voice. You can change the world, it's your choice. What's going on in the world today? Tune in and take a listen. One voice, we on a mission. We gotta stop the violence and stop the killing. Cops turn blacks like we don't matter. Problem at the problem and we need us. We gotta speak up, we gotta set standards. We gotta protest, we need to make banners. What's your thoughts? Tell us your ideas. What's your thoughts? Express your opinion. You can be the one to make a difference. You can be the one, it's your decision. You can be the one, it's up to you. You gotta choose. All we gotta do is stay together. We gotta treat our women better. Teamwork, make the dream work. I'm sick of seeing RP painted on the front of a t-shirt. Instead of talking down on the next man, give him a hand and help him get back up. We gotta stop the hate, we gotta stop the hate and spread the love. One mic, one voice. You can change the world, it's your choice. One mic, one voice. You can change the world, it's your choice. One mic, one voice. You can change the world, it's your choice. One mic, one voice. You can change the world, it's your choice.
We can make a difference if we try. We can be the change that's in our lives. All we gotta do is work together. We gotta raise our children better. We gotta stop the hate, and spread the love.
One mic, one voice. You can change the world, it's your choice. One mic, one voice. You can change the world, it's your choice. One mic, one voice. You can change the world, it's your choice. One mic, one voice. You can change the world, it's your choice. Your choice. One mic, one voice. You can change the world, it's your choice. One mic, one voice. You can change the world, it's your choice. One mic, one voice. You can change the world, it's your choice. One mic, one voice.
Welcome to the One Mic, One Voice show, building the collective conscience, a show that is created to give space where your voice, ideas, and informed opinions can be heard, appreciated, and yea, debated. I am Michael Eric Owen.
And I'm DT, and thank you for joining us once again.
Hey, man, we got somebody else on pipe in. Who else is here?
Oh.
How y'all doing today?
Announce yourself to the audience, young man.
Richard Taplin. The Black in Studios. I'm trying to live on to y'all's level.
Nice.
Is it working?
Yeah, you came in.
I'm perpetrating.
No, you came in strong.
Okay, thank you.
You came in strong, and so we got the trifecta going on today. We're gonna hit you from three angles.
Ouch.
And we're gonna get into the 6th Annual Ralph Ellison Gala, talk about that event. But to start off with, I just want to hearts and prayers go out to the folks in New Zealand.
Yeah.
And up to 50 people dead.
Another 50 injured.
Man, it's crazy, and we reposted with our American white nationalism episode with Dr. Paul Ketchum. We put that up. We did a 3-part series on white nationalism. I suggest you go and you educate yourself, because to me, this is, man, as compared to terrorist attacks in the United States from ISIS or others, there's no comparison when it comes to the crimes wrought by people that believe in this ideology. It's a serious problem.
And the thing about New Zealand, typically that's a very peaceful place. You don't really hear about these type of things happening out there. Even our, beloved star member of the Thunder.
Yeah. Come on.
You got it.
He's searching for it.
Stephen Adams. Yeah.
Stephen Adams.
Yeah, he's from New Zealand.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm sure that his family, is affected in some way. Just to know that kind of terror is around the corner, man. It's really daunting.
And not to spend a lot of time, because we really want to get in on our subject today. But I just never understand why you go into somebody else's house of worship and shoot them. It ain't even like they messing with you. Like they are gathered by themselves in their tradition, celebrating to their God. Why in the world?
Right.
They not even like, I could see if there was some confrontation and, there's some battle back and forth. But these folks are actually praying, man. They're like in their places of worship. And you go in when they, I guess in their eyes, they're the most vulnerable, right? But it just shows you how crazy hate is, man. Like you can just be doing your own thing and somebody hates you because you're doing your own thing.
Yeah, you're imposing on my way of life. Yeah, some way.
It's what I mean.
I can't stand it. I can't take it.
I mean, it's crazy. You got to, just because you occupy, this planet with me, I got to get rid of you. Like it's the craziest, I guess, part of hatred. In this instance, is that you go after people that have done nothing to you. Usually we hate folks because you done did something to me.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, I hate you, because
Right.
you know what I mean? Right? Hate should never have a place in society, but I can see the hate being generated because someone did something.
Stab me in the back.
Yeah. But here's you don't even know them.
Done me wrong.
But I hate you. And so we can identify, with that sort of hatred toward a group of people because we black folks. So we can understand that. But again, my heart, our prayers go out to the folks that have lost their lives. And it's a sad occasion. And it's almost unconscious to segue to such a grand event. However, that's the purpose of our show today. And Black in Studios was a sponsor of they do every year. I appreciate that, brother.
No. We appreciate you, brother. We appreciate you.
And
DT was not in the back row anymore.
We're going to talk about that later. I don't want to bring it up right now.
Sorry.
We're going to talk about that.
But just a little history on the purpose of this gala. I'm proud to say I'm the founder of the Ralph Ellison Foundation, which was started in 2013. And the gala was started to honor Ellison, his legacy, his works, and also to raise money so that we can get our 501c3 was the original reason for the first gala. And granted, I had never put on a gala before, right? I had an idea, I had a vision, and I kind of just went after it and talked to certain people. I mean, at that time, Professor Mentor was at OU teaching in the School of Dance, and I said, hey, man, I'm trying to put this thing on. Would you come? And I had been introduced to him by way of Dr. Lupe Davidson. And so that came up, and then at that time we had a jazz band. I wanted to put music because Ellison was about the foundation operates in 3 areas, in literature, music, and art, because Ellison was a writer, he was a musician, and he was an artist, right? He was a sculptor, and he was also a photographer and a writer, and so and he also, played the trumpet, and so he was, he was a Renaissance man, and so our programming is in that direction. And so let's talk a little bit about Saturday night, man.
Wait, man, I want to go back one more time because it just dawned on me, for whatever reason. Me and Mike been cool for a while. Me and Mike been doing our thing for a while. We've been talking and chatting it up for a while, and I wondered, why wasn't I invited to the first Ralph Ellison Gala?
Yeah, that was 9 years ago. We knew each other. I think for the first one, man, I was just trying to make something happen.
How was the first one?
The first one was I thought it was a success. It was a struggle to get. I think we had 200, and I want to say 12 people attend the first one. And Derek Mentor, they did 3 dances, and we did have jazz there.
Was the VIP section a thing at that time?
No.
That's why we weren't invited.
That's what it is.
That's what it was.
That's what it is. That's what it is.
We always had. We started off with a VIP, but it was 30 minutes. And it was like, real finger food. Like, like the ham
like,
rolled up with a
Lunchable. I just dumped out the Lunchables and put it on the
tray. It was not catered at all. And so we did have, we always had free wine, but we didn't have wine for the table. So we had wine for the VIP. It was half an hour.
There we go.
And so it was like in and out. It was like, we appreciate you, you're VIP. You paid a little bit more. Get a drink, get a cracker, some cheese, and keep it moving. Yeah. Mingle, and keep it moving. And we also didn't have awards. Yeah, we didn't have awards until 3 years ago.
So let me ask you this, Michael, if you don't mind. Can you give us the timeline and just to how much the Ralph Ellison Gala has evolved since the first one to the second one? And I think all the ones I've been to, they've been like consistent in a way, but steady, elevating the level as far as the smaller details that you do on it. But how was it from the first to second one? What's up?
And before you do that, and just so that I'm hearing you correctly, just because I brought a question to the table, why wasn't I invited to the first
He answered.
He answered, and what I'm hearing is that there was not at DT's standard just yet. He wanted to make sure some things were in place before he invited your boy to the event.
There you go.
Trial and errors. You got to work the kinks out.
Work out the kinks. There
DT,
you go.
come welcome. Come be a part of this. Yeah, it's been dope though.
Yeah, what has evolved is I think we've added a lot more media to it. I mean, the first, second, third year, I don't think we had any media whatsoever.
When you say media, do you mean
videos?
Video, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, the video, Gala video, we didn't have that. And we'll talk about Don Katz and his video from Audible that happened this past year, which was really powerful.
Yeah, that was super dope.
I mean, we didn't have any of that, and I think also, just it has evolved because of the level of attention and sponsorships that we got in. We had 23 sponsors, man. That was the most we ever had. I think the first year we might have had 2015.
Mm-hmm.
And
Not
so
bad.
we have grown. Yeah, I had my hustle on.
Yeah. How did you do your advertising? Did you still
well, think
do
about
your
it.
radio drop and everything?
Yeah,
like that?
we did a. I don't think the first year I had a radio drop. So after that, Perry Publishing Broadcasting allowed for us to do a radio drop, and also in the paper. And this year we were able to do a radio drop on Tyler Media, and also Billboard. Right, so you see the evolution of that take place, and also now people write articles about the gala that never talk to me. Like it's just somebody
it's just a
says,
thing now.
yeah, people say, "Oh, great article and such," and I was like, "What paper is that?" You know what I mean? And they steal quotes from other places that they don't even talk to me. They just take the quote from somewhere else and put it in there.
Says Michael Eric.
And yeah. And it's
stayed on this gala.
and it's real interesting that it's galvanized that much attention, and I think it's become classier. I think people at first we had a lot of folks that it's a gala, but I just throw my little suit on and I'm coming, But now it's like, I need to get that jacket, right? I need to get that bow tie, right?
Save it, because I know you're going with that.
Okay.
So I think it's become more of a classy event, and we have repeat sponsors. So even though some didn't sponsor us this year, we gained more sponsors, which I love, right? Because we're trying to expand the presence of Ellison. And then the silent auction, we never had that until the last couple of years. Yeah. And then this year I thought it was, folks, we had a basketball signed by all the Thunder players. Yeah. That the price on that was $2,500. Wow. And the first bid started off at $500. And I'm telling you, man, the thing about it is,
what did it go for?
It went for I think 510. No, I think 550 it went for. Yeah. So again, that's a nice man. I wish I could bid on something like that. It's unethical for the executive director to
$550.
Yeah, $550.
Man,
that got Westbrook, Paul George.
Yeah,
I couldn't.
Steve Adams.
Yeah.
Just mentioned.
It's a once in a lifetime, item that you're not gonna get another opportunity, because we don't know what our partnership with the Thunder is going to bring us, right? Like last year, it was like a Thunder gift bag, which was real cool. It had all type of Thunder gear in it, but it wasn't a basketball with all the players' signature on it. Yeah. So it's like one of those things where, if you got 500, 600 laying around,
it's worth it.
It's definitely worth it, because you're not. It goes in point what the Ralph Ellison Gala is. We're recognizing a African American who established a history in Oklahoma, and then we're able to give someone else a huge. The Thunder's a big deal in Oklahoma. Big deal.
And you think about the superstars, we got Russ.
Yeah.
We got PG.
Well, let me just say this to you right now. Just think about if you had a ball that was signed by Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, and all those sitting in your sports cap.
Man, it's like I'd almost rather have a ball than a pair of tennis shoes. And they cost about the same amount of money. Get you 2 pair of them Jordans and pay $550. No, man, give me the ball.
Yeah, it's really great. But folks, listen, let's take a break. We're gonna come back. We're gonna get a little deeper. I want to get their observations of the gala, and even if you're not in Oklahoma City, it's worth the trip. Come in, get a hotel room. Hey, I even cut you a hotel deal. Got those connections, right? And come enjoy a great night, a great icon. Folks, taking a break. We'll be right back.
Oklahoma Humanities Brainbox podcast uses the humanities to take listeners on a deep dive into the issues affecting American society and culture. Join some of Oklahoma's most interesting and knowledgeable humanities scholars to explore how history, literature, ethics, philosophy, and other humanities fields inform our understanding of current events and the human experience. And to find the Brainbox podcast, simply search Brainbox Podcast on iTunes, Podbean, Google Play, and any other podcasting library. If you have any ideas or comments rattling around in your noggin, email us at brainbox@okhumanities.org.
This is DT of the One Mic, One Voice podcast. Just want to let you guys know you can go over to iTunes and search us at One Mic, One Voice, and be sure to rate and review our episodes. Let us know about any feedback that you have and what you enjoy about the episodes. Also, you can go over to Stitcher, where you can get the latest and freshest episodes of our podcast streamed directly to your smartphone or iPad. No downloading or syncing. How cool. Real smooth. Also, we just like to take the time to thank you for your time and for your energy and for spending time with us as we discuss the historical record of our time.
Ralph Ellison, the icon, the legend, Invisible Man, Shadow and Act, Going to the Territory. What would America be without blacks? Yeah, he wrote all that and then some more. Yeah, he was a dangerous man that understood the complexities of our society on many levels: race, culture, identity. His world, unfortunately, is very much like our world. Not much has changed. And I think with anyone reading Flying Home, for instance, his 14 short stories, would see that, yeah, man, we have similar times. But just talk about, Richard, man, just your experience, with the gala, and then specifically Saturday, March 9th.
Well, like we were discussing earlier, this is my fourth or third year attending the gala, and my uncle actually attended the gala before I did. So when I was telling him about it, he was like, "Oh yeah, I went to that. That's a nice, classy event." And I wasn't ready though. I've been to a few galas, but this gala is definitely like just off the charts. It's not. It don't really feel like a gala. It feels just like a performance, a super classy event. And speaking of classy, it was funny because me and Jim was actually talking about the music, and I'm a huge jazz fan, so I've always loved the music. And I think you had dropped a little eggplant in my ear, telling me that, hey, we're going to have classical music this year, and I was like, man, I love classical music and wine. Like you can't get no more classier than that. And the way that the classical music felt, it still felt like a jazzy urbanism feel to it. It just felt elegant, and I just want to say I appreciate you for. I know you have removed. You always treat the Black in Studios very well.
Yes, sir.
We always sit right upstage. We'll wait on you, DT. We always sit close to the stage, front and center. And this year he took me out the sun. Last year, I guess Michael was giving a speech, and I remember him looking at me, and I was squinting because I couldn't see him because the sun was setting. Because I don't know if anybody ever been to the Oklahoma Historical Center, but it's beautiful. That room that you do the gala in is you see a beautiful picture of the downtown,
the state capitol.
The state capitol, and the way the sun sets over there. It's a masterpiece. But when the sun does set and you right there in the line, y'all, you can't see nothing. So Michael, graciously removed me from that area. I didn't have to worry about.
You didn't have to make a request on that, huh?
That's the crazy thing. I didn't request. Intuition. He saw me squint last year and was like, you know what? Let me move you over here, my brother.
Well, let me just say, it's funny that you say that, because when I walked out, I wanted to put your table by my table. Right, so you were right
behind you.
Yeah, you were behind me, but you were on the other side, because when they set it up, they put you on the other side. They misread the chart, And so when I went out, I was like, nah. I said, y'all got to move my boys over here. They supposed to be over here. And so we swapped them around.
We thank you. When I got there, and like, you know, the people you have, the staff that you assemble at the Ralph Ellison Gala is just like top-notch customer service. They walked in. I mean, they walked us to our seats, and I'm pretty sure they walked I think when I finally got there, some other people's jackets, I don't know if it was y'all's or not, DT, but some other people's jackets was already at our table. Always treat with just top-notch quality. Even when the gala was going on, the waiters you had and the waitresses was just always, hey, you need anything, giving us water. It felt like we was at a 5-star restaurant.
That's beautiful, brother.
Dope.
Beautiful.
At a gala, a 5-star restaurant, because the food.
Beautiful. Food was
we haven't got there yet, have we?
No, we haven't.
Okay. Okay.
But
that bread.
That
bread. What was DT? What was in the bread?
Richard reached over the whole table, right, to grab another lady's bread off her plate.
Why you had to mention it was a lady? She offered. Well, I asked her.
I was
she
like,
said it was
wow,
cool.
Richard really likes that bread. It was serious, but I mean, like you said, everything was delicious. Food is always, I mean, top notch. And if you get an opportunity to be in the VIP experience, you know, you get a little appetizer before you get down there and get your main course. So I would definitely encourage that. Is it my turn to talk about?
Yeah, it's your turn to go, bro.
Well, I would first say, you know, if I can help it, I never want to miss this event. And being that it is also coupled with my birthday weekend, or, you know, kind of around the same time, it just all kind of becomes part of that celebration for me. And even knowing that, you know, Ralph Ellison's birthday is March 1st, you know, him and I share a lot of similarities, just the way about, you know, being a Pisces and just all the things he was into, I'm kind of into. And so it just, even that it's at the Oklahoma History Center, that is even a perfect backdrop for the event itself, because we're in Oklahoma. We're at the History Center. We're talking about a historic legend in, I mean, it's Oklahoma's very own and very best. Yeah. And even looking around the crowd and the people that attend, it's Oklahoma's very own and very best. You got people sitting amongst each other that may not normally get to come in contact with one another. The mayor's right behind the cat who do the DJ, you know, or, you know, it's just really.
Kareem and the mayor was sitting right next to each other. Yeah.
It's always classy. It's always diverse. It's always dynamic. Just being able to see the different elements that are brought into this one event, and, you know, how Mike just so. And I know it's crazy because we see the event, you know, for what it is. When we're there, it's like, man, wow, this is amazing. And I know Mike is like in a mental scramble the whole time leading up into it.
I think this year was like my first year. Well, I take it's not my first year, but it was my. I guess I got to see a little bit deeper inside of the chaos of Michael Eric Owens during the weeks leading up to the gala. Because we were messaging and just like his mind just like, and I give him props because I was like, man, I was telling my wife, I was like, Michael is like he's owning, like he is everywhere right now. I wonder. And then when I walked in there, they're like, you couldn't tell.
You know, so I'm always amazed at the level of organization.
Yes.
And like, Mike just makes it look so seamless. You know?
Oh, yeah.
Like
He makes it feel like everybody can do it.
And, you know, one of the things I do when I get there, and I think this is my fourth one as well, I always try to find Mike, you know, just to check in with him, let him know I'm there. But he's like, and I know like, that's my boy, but he can't be my boy like that during that time. And I respect that. But at the same time, I always want to check in with him just to kind of see where he's at and kind of what is going on, and then I can go back up into the VIP, get my drink on.
So let me ask you this, because I feel you on that. It's like once you sign into the front, I guess because it's us, you know, we have to check in.
I mean, I almost feel like I have to be walking around with him, like, it's me and Mike just hanging out.
What's up?
We're at the game.
But did you, when you saw him, and then when you felt what he had on,
and that is what
and
I
not when you saw what he had, but when you felt what he had on.
Now, somebody like me, I've been like wearing the same tux and, like, you know, giving a little new flavor every year.
Just a little touch,
a little something different every year. Man, Mike come clean
every year,
different every year. This year he had on like
a gray velour,
a rose velvet.
Was it a robe? Was it a robe? Was it a robe, DT?
Mink.
It was me. I knew it. I knew it.
The texture I gave my man like a little black dap hug thing.
And you was
man,
like,
I thought I was. I can't really explain it, man. I thought I was hugging a rat, like a rabbit. So I was like, man, whoa. It's like a life-size rabbit.
I felt the same way because when I finally saw Mike in the VIP section, I was like, "Oh, what's up, brother?" He had this. I saw a gray suit. That's what I saw. I saw a gray jacket. You know, I went in, gave him the black dap you said, and then the moment that I embraced, I was like, what is this? And I had to back up and look at him.
It's almost like you couldn't let go for him. It's like, whoa.
I didn't want to let go. I did not want to let go. What was that?
Okay, we have to get. Let me release.
Yeah,
all right,
let me release. There's a lot of people up here. Let me release. My wife is right here. Let me release.
It's like, that event set the stage for so many things. I'm looking around the crowd and, I see people laughing.
Yeah.
I see people conversating. I see people engaging with one another. I see couples looking at each other, with that love and that love in their eye that they hadn't maybe had previously. But it set the stage just for that warmth and that connection to be made. And Mike, you probably are responsible for a few children out there. I don't know. Somebody might be pregnant in a few months
because of the gala.
Because of the gala, yeah. So, man, like I said, from the beginning to end, going into the VIP, being able to mix and mingle with different individuals, getting that recognition. It's almost like the who's in a sense. But you can be a regular dude, man, and just fall off into a conversation with the mayor of Oklahoma City. You know? And it also just gives us a little bit a deeper insight into the people that we see and we hold in high esteem. Just gives us more of a on the ground level of who these people really are, because they're just like us, and they're down to earth people.
I think man, everything that you both have said, man, is beautiful. And
so it was rabbit.
Yeah.
It was rabbit first.
Man, it's
you ever felt a lucky rabbit's foot?
I did, man. I felt lucky
the whole coat, though, man.
The whole coat, not even just pieces, just the whole coat was rabbit.
Yeah, it's velvet.
Rose, it's like rose petals. Like, man, it's crazy, man.
And I looked up. And what I realized, this being the 6th annual, it felt to me like the foundation was legitimate. That's really what I felt like. There's an expectation now of what the foundation will do. And looking around, you had the mayor of Oklahoma City. You had the county commissioner there of Carrie Bloomert. You have Ward 7 councilwoman Nikki Nice. You had State Senator George Young there. You had State Representative Jason Lowe. You had the newly elected Ward 2 Councilman James Cooper, which is on the foundation board now. I mean, you had
Clara Lupa's daughter.
Yeah, we had we had Marilyn Luper there to receive the Shadow and Act Awards, and we'll talk about that. But I mean, you had CEOs, you had bank presidents, you had owners of Blacken Studios in the house. We had professionals like DT. I mean, highly educated professionals, pastors. I mean, you had clergy in there. I mean, it's such it's such an event that I think gives people the opportunity, as you said, D, to mingle with folks that they wouldn't normally mingle with. And it was crazy. I got a reply from a gentleman that was different. He was trying to get his tickets online, and he couldn't. And I had to walk him through the process. No, I had to walk him through the process, and he finally figured it out. Older gentleman, and he told me he was in the parking lot. He emailed me before he left, and he said, "I'm in the parking lot." He said, "But I have to email you. This is the most powerful event me and my wife have ever been to." Mm-hmm. And he says, "Thank you so much for inviting me."
How'd that make you feel?
It sends chills down my spine, man, because you're trying to create something that changes folks' lives, right? You're trying to do something that empowers people. You're trying to do something, man, that honors this great man's legacy. And when you hear someone that says that this guy that looks like he's in his 60s, that says this is the most powerful event I have ever been to. I mean, how do you digest that? He wasn't the only one. I mean, AT&T, who sponsored us, the guy that I worked with to get that, him and his wife was there, and he told me, he said, Michael, he said it was an unforgettable night for him. And, you know, I just think sometimes, man, because we in it right and we do it right and we like
just end that.
Yeah, we in that right. It's hard for us to step back and really have that virgin experience that says, you know, you remember your first time, bro? No, let me go there, bro. But when you have that virgin experience, right, man, your eyes are open, right? Your ears are open. You're listening to the music. You're listening to the poetry. I mean, Quraysh was like, oh my God. Okay.
Wait.
Oh my God.
We gotta save that part. We gotta save that part. Before we hit on Brother Q, okay, you gotta hit him with Brother Q. Man, the way he killed that. But it's funny that you mentioned that, Mike, because I remember I was like, at one point, I think it was when Quraysh was actually talking, I was still having to be looking around to see what people were also looking like, because I could see our table was just like shaking their heads like, yes. Like, it felt like we were just giving the energy up to stay. So I was like curious. I'm like, I wonder what everybody else is doing. And I looked and I just saw like everybody was just like, fully engaged. Even on, what was her name? I'm sorry, Clara Lupa's daughter. What was
Marilyn Looper.
Even when she was talking, I was looking around and everybody was just like, mouth drop,
hanging on to every syllable that was being spoken.
Yes.
And so I just think it's having that experience, man, and not, you know, I mean, Black and Studios is a sponsor, so you come to the event knowing that you help put the event on. Part of what you've done. I mean, even with the commercials we run on here, the in-kind stuff, and then the financial stuff, right? So part of that is a different kind of flavor, right? Yeah, but when you just like hear about it, say, I'm gonna get a ticket, I'm gonna go to this, bam.
And it's funny. I'm glad you brought that up because it's like me and my wife was talking about it a couple of days after the event, and I was like, man, it's cool to be a part of this. But I told her, I was like, I can only imagine the percentage that I feel contributing to this, how Michael must feel being the one that got this ball started. Like, I can only imagine the endorphins that are released through his body when he's able to see, when he's sitting down and kind of looking back, or just being able to enjoy them, like you said, hearing the comments, hearing the replies, the feedback that everybody gives you. Just, I mean, I know that probably just blows your mind.
Mary says, sounds like a rich, very moving event. Yes, indeed. You
gotta say the whole thing, Michael. She said the rabbit velvet jacket because that's what it was. That's what it was. It was rabbit velvet, DT. Man, I never even heard of that.
Oh, wow.
Where'd you find that at, Michael? Where'd you find that? Did you go back up?
You want to hear the story on that?
You want to go back up north?
No. You want to hear the story on that? Okay, I'm
going to share secrets, DT.
No, I'm gonna give you the story on that. I bought that jacket probably 3-4 years ago.
Was it a rabbit in your yard?
No. I bought that jacket at GQ. Right? I was just in there one day, man. I saw it. It was like sitting by itself, like wasn't a whole lot of them.
Yeah, light gleaming on it.
Boom. Bought it, right? But it's a story behind that, right? So I've only wore it a couple of times, right? And so when I went to go get my tux, the place that we go to, D.
Is our boy still over there?
They out of business.
The Tuxedo Junction.
Boom. Man, it's hard to find a tux here.
Online has definitely swooped that.
So what I did was I went to this place in Midwest City, right? And dude told me, I said, I'm going to buy one. Boom. Dude told me it'd be here Thursday, right? Thursday came.
Week of the gala?
Yes.
Ooh.
Thursday came. Wasn't there. Oh, it'll be here Friday. Friday came. I call up there, and basically, that's why I'm not going to even name the place and embarrass them like that. But basically, they told me, well, we have a customer, so we have to call you back. I'm like
they can't even put you on hold.
Yeah. I'm like, I was a customer when I was paying, but now that I paid, I'm not a customer. So what ended up happening was they ended up calling back. I didn't even answer. So I said, I'll go another direction, right? So I just went to the back of the closet.
Yeah. Oh, I had that rabbit velvet in the back of the closet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you see him? You was just like, did it have the same light and the gleam? Just like, oh.
You know, it probably like the arm of it probably like touching Mike as he was walking in the glass.
He was like, what was that? What was that softness?
You crazy. Oh, Mary, I'm about to get her. Sounds like a rich, very moving event. Rabbit velvet jacket.
Man, that's a great hashtag.
That's a great hashtag for the show. Yes. Like, what was the rabbit velvet jacket? You should have been there. You should have been there. You would have been able to see.
Hey, let's take a break, and then we're gonna get more specific. Then we're gonna slide on out of here, folks. We'll be right back.
Hi everyone, this is Roxy Davis.
And this is Deborah Burris. And we are
the Roxy by Design Show. Our show is designed to bring healing as we share our stories while God redesign our lives.
So take a ride with us.
So you can find us at
Podbean, iTunes,
Facebook and Twitter,
and
blackandstudios.com. So thank you everyone for listening to the Roxy by Design Show. You have a blessed day.
We love you.
This is Quraysh Ali Lansana, poet, author, educator, and Oklahomie, and when I listen to podcasts, I'm on that one mic, one voice joint.
It wouldn't be a gala if you didn't have words. It wouldn't be a gala. Well, let me back up to say it wouldn't be a Ralph Ellison Foundation gala if you didn't have words, if you didn't have dance, if you didn't have music, right? We consider it to be a night of movement.
Yeah.
Because
that's appropriate.
Yeah, because you know what? When I thought about what type of gala we wanted to put on, man, I don't want to go in and have some folks eat a nice dinner, and we have a couple of music selections. Then we got a keynote speaker for 40 minutes. Mm-hmm. And that's what you normally get at galas, right? Let's talk about the specifics. Let's talk about Don Katz from Audible. And I'll set this up like this. What people don't understand, we're talking about Audible, we're talking about Amazon. We're talking about downloading books. We're talking about what's on all these devices that are all over the world. This guy knew Ralph Ellison and was influenced by Ellison. Said he started audio because of Ellison's impact on him. Talk a little bit about what he had to say. And what was your thoughts when you listened to him?
You know, one thing that you said at the gala was that, you know, you look at the event and it's like you almost wonder, but you know what Ralph would have thought about this event being in his name. And I think in my mind, you know, the gala is the easy part, you know, because the things that have been done throughout the year leading up to the gala and all the things that are done in his name, the light bulb room discussions.
Yeah.
Those aren't easy all the time, folks.
Yeah.
People are in uncomfortable situations, engaging in conversation. And And like I said, the whole event is just perfect because of the location, because of the level of thinking about who Ralph was. And if you've read The Invisible Man, it's like, man, all these elements are coming together. And to think that the owner of Audible, you know, first of all, was inspired to start his business based off his relationship with Ralph. And then even hear about, you know, the mayor talking about his
he gave a great speech on that.
And so everybody is having their own connection and reflection on what it meant to them, well, what Ralph meant to them, and why they are even the people that they are. We represent the Ralph Ellison Gala through the foundation. Mike was inspired, you know, which has now inspired us. And it's like this trickle down effect has been so it's been crazy, you know, just looking at the whole picture of impact that it has had on everybody's life. And just to hear the guy from Audible, you know, come up, first of all, it's like you don't expect. Maybe they send a representative, you know. Maybe they just, hey, Tracy, see if you can send him a little 1-minute blurb about, you know, Ralph Ellison, whatever. But no, man, this cat got on the mic, got on video himself, addressed the audience, you know, talked about how important Ralph was to him, and we're looking around at each other, you know, smiling and laughing and talking, you know, all because of this one man, and it just speaks volumes to, you know, what one person's life can mean for so many others, but also what those people then do with that inspiration. And this man has made incredible impact with. I'm an avid Audible subscriber. I get my free token every month. Yeah, I've got about 60 in my library, but you know, and that has changed my life. You know, and so I'm better because of Audible and because of the creators of those things, and because of Ralph Ellison's life. And so it's really big to think about all of the different, you know, layers of it, but it just really gratifies me just to be involved and to know Mike personally, and to, you know, hopefully one day also be spoken amongst in that regard.
No, he's DT hit it just perfectly, because the three speeches I can remember is exactly your story always. David Holt's story, and what's his name, the guy over Audible?
Don Katz.
Don Katz, is because y'all all gave a personal testimony to how much Ralph Ellison meant to y'all and what it moved y'all to try to strive for. Because even David Holt, he used to sit on the board of
Ralph he was Ellison. The president.
The president, yeah. And it was just beautiful just hearing all you guys just say, because all y'all stories were different, like 100% different. It wasn't like one of y'all was like, hey, man, have you heard Ralph Ellison? I know. Can you educate me? No, it was like all y'all had a super personal. And what made it beautiful, yours is always beautiful, Michael, but what made David and also the other brothers beautiful is just the fact that, you know, I'm just going to call it out what it is. They're white.
Yeah.
They're white.
Absolutely.
They're white people. And for them to be so moved and inspired by a black figure is a beautiful thing.
It is.
It's a very beautiful thing, because they didn't have to. You know what I'm saying? He didn't have to take that time out to set the whole production up for him to shoot a video to send to you. He could have just sent you a little blurb on a piece of paper for you to read on stage.
Yeah.
But they wanted to make that extra mile because
Cat sends his regards.
Yeah, exactly. He could have did that. He's like, hey, just everywhere, because it would have been your voice would have been just fine.
And look at it like this. He not only did that, but he sent a free download of Invisible Man for 260 people, right? He did that. He also sent 2 echoes for the auction, right? He also sent a 2-year-long free memberships to Audible. He sent $4,500 worth of materials to be auctioned off. Now you tell me, this man don't love Ellison and would do what he can for Ellison.
I would never tell you that.
you know what I mean?
Mike uses this word, you know, when he talks about his story and how he came here, and you almost feel on the outside because, you know, this term Ellisonian.
Yes, sir.
Mike is coined
on the heart.
He's reached out and found these other Ellisonians, you know, who have taken the charge to carry the torch in a sense. And it almost was like, hey man, I'm an Ellisonian. Hey, I want to be one of those. But it just speaks volumes to what people can do, man, when you find a common goal, common interest, and just take it in and run with it.
Yeah.
And it's impacted everybody's life in a positive way, I feel.
Yeah. Senator
Can I
Langford.
be an Ellisonian?
Bro,
Hey,
you already.
You can't ask.
Can I?
Right?
Oh, okay.
You can't.
When the
That didn't
moment
sound-
hits
that's
you,
whack.
when the moment
That's
hits you,
whack,
you'll be like, you'll wake up one morning, you'll be like,
That's why.
Did you
I'm
get
an
that?
Ellisonian.
Did you get the application?
I didn't.
Yeah.
see, it ain't fair you.
Hey, I'm gonna fax you over the application.
I had to see my resume.
I don't
Read
have
that book one more time.
Yeah.
I don't have a fax machine, but I'm gonna fax you over a resume. So what about Senator Langford's video? I mean, one thing that people need to understand.
Yeah.
Let me say this. There's a couple of things that fundamentally the foundation wants to be about. Number one is we're not political at all, right? Our focus is on Ellison, his legacy, and the great works that he can do in his name. As you can see, we have Ryan Kinsler, who is the executive director of the ACLU, right? And you would say that's on the left. And we have great support that comes from Senator James Langford. He's on the right. You will find independents. We never focus on politics, not our mission. Our mission is to bring together people that want to honor Ellison and has a desire to move the our mission forward. And truly, one thing I will say about Senator Langford is it would not be a foundation without him. There was a very critical meeting about the foundation. If I name people names, I get a lot of people in trouble. And let me just say this. I'm not taking all this stuff I may not name now, but all of this is not going to my grave. It's going in my book. So let me say that. You're going to be on blast, but you're going to be on blast when I say you on blast, right? But there was a meeting that I was going to go to that people were trying to prevent me from going to because they did not want to see me in this position of founding this organization. That's the honest truth.
I'm not surprised.
And Langford stepped in when he found out, when I called his office and said, I've been forbidden to come to this meeting. He said, what? He said, the meeting's about you. He said, no, you're coming to this meeting. Don't worry about it. I'll deal with that. And he dealt with that. And he paved the way for me to move forward with that. And so I thought his video, number one, I think to have a U.S. Senator pause and say, I'm going to acknowledge this night is a big thing.
Especially with everything that's going on.
With everything that's going
with the
on.
government right now. And for him to take that time out and to be able to say such a powerful video and what he said on that video, that says a lot.
And I must admit, I was running behind on quite a few things. And I was almost going to say, I'm not going to ask him this year. But like the week before, I contacted his office and he delivered. So you tell me, right? He could have been like, you just said it.
Notice.
You just said it, Rich. Everything that's going on. He could have been like, I don't, tell Michael I don't have time. Furthermore to say, he called me Sunday.
The Sunday leading up to the game?
No,
after.
Oh, the next day.
Yeah.
The next day.
And want to know. Yeah,
day.
yeah. I look up, Senator Langford's calling.
You had to answer that
So how
call.
you doing, Senator? He said, how did the gala go? I just want to call and check in. See, how's your family? You see what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is, although it's a big event, it's a very, I think, intimate. That's the perfect word for it. Everyone that's involved in that event has a connection. And as you said it, we all have a connection with Ellison in some form or fashion in our lives that has brought us together, right? Maybe I was the conduit that brought folks from the four corners to do this, but clearly, as you said, it's our individual experiences, man, and we believe in that. Talk about Q for a minute.
Q was heavy this year, man. And you know what? And I'll bring this up now.
He dropped the dreads.
I'll bring this up now.
Yeah, he did drop the dreads.
And he got serious.
He got a new attitude, huh?
I'll bring this up now is because, last year, unfortunately, I made a mistake. Your boy.
You going to talk about that?
DT slipped up.
Yeah.
Your boy DT slipped up. Yeah. I'm not afraid to admit it.
It was an awkward
I can be
slip
mad
up, too,
about
brother.
it.
It was an awkward slip up. I just want to let you know. It was awkward even for me.
But I was
looking around the table. I was like,
I was misplaced. Okay.
Oh yeah,
I was misplaced and displaced. Okay.
Displaced.
Sitting amongst beautiful people with incredible impact, but not my folks. I wasn't with the Black Studios crew.
Yeah, you on
and
the
it's
periphery.
just a different feel. And I felt that from the moment I sat down at the table.
Yeah, I bet you did.
And I had another perspective, right? I was not looking over anybody's head to see who was in the front.
And you're a tall gentleman too.
And because I could go on forever about that, but what I'm saying is that where I was situated, Q was getting ready to go up and do his first piece, and he was in Q right behind me, waiting to hit the stage. And so, he gave me a little dap before, he went up there.
It did feel good
and
sitting that close with Q.
It's all of that, man, just, enhanced the experience. And then to hear him deliver in the way that he did. And like you, I also peered around just to see what the other audience members might have been feeling. And, there were a lot of poised faces. I realized that there were a lot of people being educated at that point. Maybe had not, heard this brother express himself in that way, or any like that, and to be in the room, and to feel what everybody was feeling as he was spitting his piece. It was man, I got chills, man.
Yeah.
I had chills, bro.
Yeah, he literally took his gloves off.
He killed that. Twice. Yeah, when he came back up there, I was just like, dang, brother, what you about to hit us with now? Like, twice.
That was intense the first time. There's no way.
And he's
hit beyond that. And he was like, you don't know me.
And think about it. Now he spent time in Chicago. Is now, a lot of stuff going on out there. Is now in Tulsa. Rich history there. Man, this brother is in tune, is what I would say. And you felt that when he got up there and spoke. He definitely has his hand on the pulse, because every word, like a dagger, man, it just hits you.
I'm glad you used that phrase, hand on a pulse, because that's the best way to illustrate how impactful his poetry was. It really felt like if the whole culture had a heartbeat, Q's hand was right there on it, and he would just be the voice to let everybody know why this pulse is beating this way. Like, it was.
And what I will emphasize to our listeners is that Quraysh is black, and this is a diverse audience.
Yeah.
And
super diverse.
But
I seen this guy. He was sitting behind Mayor Holt, and his face was just like so.
What?
And you could, man, he was pondering hard, man. You could tell like he was really processing something new, And
but see, this is what you have to do. You have to, and this is in the vein of in the light bulb room. You have to give people space. You have to put them in spaces where they can experience different, right? Where else would some of these folks have heard words like that? Never. It's not that they don't want to hear them; they want to hear them.
But they would have never went to the poetry.
Oh, absolutely.
Or the
absolutely
poetry thing.
And so, what you're talking about, him pondering that, he's going to lead with that. He's going to think about that, right? That's going to transform maybe even his world. But he was given that opportunity within that space, right? That's why it's more than simply a gala, right? That's why it's a night of movement. That's why it creates
mental movement.
Oh yeah, it creates this space where people can be challenged, but also in a very healthy way.
Yeah.
Because there was nothing but love in the room. I mean, even after Q said, "Bam," there you go, right? Nothing but love in the room, right?
There was no tension. There
wasn't no tension. How many people came up to him and wanted a photo with him that were white, that were Asian, that's what I'm saying, because they understand that what they just heard was truth.
And that's what Ellison wanted.
Exactly.
The fact that any race can just be able to feel that way without that tension.
Absolutely, man, and I thought it was beautiful.
We didn't even got to the dancing yet. We didn't even got to the food.
The dancing was
and I wanted to know, and I know you probably don't, but I wanted to know.
What was in the recipe of the bread?
The dancers.
Yeah.
Every year, the dancing is amazing, and every year they bring us something new. And this year, they allowed this brother to do like a little solo performance, and that was heavy. He choreographed.
Yeah,
and it was.
And
powerful.
I wonder if Mike had a chance to see it before.
No,
and that's what I thought.
No,
but that just lets me know, the level of the level of performance that they're putting on there, but also the level of trust that Mike has in these people, that they're just going to do their thing, and it's going to be awesome anyway.
And I'm so glad you brought that up, brother, because anyone that performs, I have complete trust in them. I don't even ask them what they're going to do. When it comes to Q, I say you got 2. You just got 2, bro. Do what you got to do, right? When it comes to Tina with the dance, I asked Tina, how many selections? She said, okay, I'll do 2. I don't even need to know. When Derek was coming, I told Derek, just do your thing. I mean, this is the way I look at it. This Ellison is about inspiration. I don't need to know what you gonna do, because I want to have that full impact, just like everybody else. I want to hear the music. I want to hear it. So with any of them, I have not heard nothing. Have not heard a word. I don't know what they're gonna do. When I'm sitting there, it is a virgin experience for me too.
That's cool,
and it's beautiful, man, because the entertainment is off the. You're not gonna get that level of entertainment anywhere.
No, hands down.
Anywhere, especially at a gala.
And the environment, the entertainment environment, the way you structure everything.
You're not going to tell me.
The food.
The food was off the chain. I mean, the food was I love that meal. I think I'm going to switch it up, though.
Vegetarian.
We had it the last 2 years, though.
What's wrong with it?
I love it, man, but I think we ought to do something a little different.
What's wrong with it? You didn't say what's wrong.
I think
with
I
it.
had every meal that could have came out.
Yeah.
I don't think y'all.
I did too. I was sampling.
Yeah, exactly. Eating off other folks. Like Richard was.
Is that the vegan? Let me try the vegan.
We had the vegan. We had the vegetarian. I mean, I don't want to bore people, right? So
I wasn't bored at all. I wasn't bored. I don't think anybody.
And
the rolls. I know, DT. I know,
man.
The wine.
The wine hack. We found out a wine hack this year.
Oh, who was that?
Richard got a wine hack this year. So, in the VIP, as you said, there is wine on every table.
Yeah.
For those who don't get a chance to have any before the gala starts in the VIP. But a lot assume once your bottle is gone, then you're done.
Well, I hate to say this, D. So last year we found that out.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, you weren't at our table when we discovered this truth.
It felt good to be a part of it.
But I feel like it's a part of the VIP experience that, your bottle's gone. You're like, hey.
And one more, please.
They brought you another.
Yeah, with the quickness. And,
yeah, fully enjoyed it.
Fully enjoyed all of them. But even with the music, I just want to say, like, the music is the only thing that just had me I had to reflect on myself. Because when I heard the classical music kicked in, I'm a huge fan of classical music, Michael. So when I heard it kicked in, I was like, I'm not wearing what I need to be wearing at this moment. I felt like I needed to be like in like Europe with one of those like, with the tassels.
With a rabbit velvet jacket.
Yes, D. That's what I need. I was like, oh, man.
I'm coming velvet next year, man. I don't care. I'm throwing that old tux out.
Yeah.
It's a wrap.
Best believe, Michael. I'm coming velvet as well.
Yeah.
Be the Velvet Brothers.
Velvet 2020.
Yes, Velvet 2020.
Velvet is. Yes. Now, as we close out the awards, we know the mayor had a great speech, but I want to talk a little bit about Marilyn Looper. And I think for some, her speech made it extremely special to be there. I think for those of you that don't know, Claire Looper led the sit-ins here in Oklahoma City. Many believe that she led the first sit-ins in the country. and she was a teacher by trade, but a social activist that stood up against injustice in Oklahoma City and beyond. She, I didn't know she had marched on the Edmund Pettus Bridge with King, and I did not know that until that night. But I just to let you know, before I got here, I did not know Claire Looper at all. And when I got here, I started researching
in Oklahoma
in 08, October of 2008 when I got here, and I started searching Oklahoma history, Black history, and I discovered her. And at that time, she was in the twilight, right? She was ill, and I wanted to go see her. And this is another connection. I wanted to go see her, and I was talking to, of course, one of my mentors, Dr. Stan Evans, right? I didn't mention we had the newly elected mayor, Berea Clark, there as well.
Yeah, from Norman.
Norman, there as well. So I was talking to Dr. Evans, and I said, Doc, I heard she's sick. I really want to go see her, just pay her some respects. And he said, you need to do that. He said, if they will let you, you need to do that. So I contacted her family, and I said, you don't know me from Adam. I said, I'm the director over here at the Ralph Ellison Library. I said, but I think your mom has done amazing things like so many other people think. I would just like to come by and pay my respects. And they said, yeah. So when I went by, she was in a wheelchair, and I said, Miss Looper, I said, I'm not from here. I said, but I've heard and I've read, and I said, I appreciate you for what you have done for us. And I said, so I just want you to know that you have impacted me, and I appreciate everything. And I told her, I said, I know you've heard that a million times, but I'm delivering it from my heart, and I just came this way to say that. And she thanked me. So see,
how did that feel?
Man, it was amazing, man. It was when I talked to Marilyn and told her that we wanted to honor her family, man, she was so humble. I mean, she was so humble. Man.
She looked like kinfolk. I mean, she talked like kinfolk too.
Yeah, she do talk like kinfolk.
She talked like kinfolk.
But she was so humble, man, and I just told her, it made me feel good to be able to honor Clara's family in a sense that we could not do her, but we have read and we have heard, right? And you got to do the right thing, and if anyone's worthy of that, it's her. And I thought her speech was just dynamic.
That speech, it felt like it didn't even feel like a speech. It felt like she grabbed each and one of our hands and found a time machine and took us back to her life as her mother was Clara Looper.
They paid the price, man.
Yeah.
That's what I got out of that. After hearing her story, I mean, they paid the price. That's what kept coming to my head.
Sacrifice.
I mean, it's how do you hear something like that and not realize how blessed you are? When the struggle is put into perspective. Like she said, we had to put on something on our heads to even try on hats. We had to put something on our shoes, on our feet to even try on shoes. They wouldn't even let us put our feet in the shoes. I mean, that...
You had to know your size before you went to the store.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you couldn't even try them on.
Her mom had the rope. Was it a rope?
Or some type of string.
Or something to measure that size for when they get there. They can't be trying on many different sizes. And it was beautiful just because also my wife, she was just like, after that speech, she was like, I have to meet her. And at that moment, that the wine hack was,
kicking in.
So I didn't really understand the move that my wife felt emotionally. And I think being a black female, that was a hero that just landed right in front of her face. And I think that's why she was just so, because after I was like, oh, that was man. this is the event. I'll tell you, I got to find her. I was like, what are you talking about? Find what? The car's outside. Give me a moment. She's like, no. I got to take a picture with her. I was like, okay. That's why I was like, okay, you're serious. But it made sense to me afterwards. I was like, you just found a new hero that resembles you, that looks like you, that may have went through something that sacrificed for you can be able to do what you to do today.
No doubt.
So yeah, that was
no doubt. And I think what one must recognize is, where else would you have heard that? And I'm not saying at the gala, I'm saying the moment. Like, this was a moment that will not be repeated. And for those who were not in the room, they missed a moment. Right.
It was a vibe.
So you will take this experience for the rest of your days to know that you heard from her daughter in a very intimate way. Right? That's beautiful. That's why it's so important that that we give ourselves to this sort of experience, knowledge, and that we recognize how important it is, whether you're in, Arizona, or New York, Milwaukee, Chicago, that there are opportunities. There are deep opportunities for you to experience things that will change your life, because history will speak of us. Somewhere in the distant future, a scribe will reach down deep into the archives of our time. And what will she find? Will she discover that we overcame our differences? Will she find that out of many, we became one? Or will she find that we solved nothing and remain a divided peoples?
Yes, history will speak of us.
We can make a difference if we try. We can be the change that's in our lives. All we gotta do is work together. We gotta raise our children better. We gotta stop the hate, and spread the love.
One mic, one voice. You can change the world, it's your choice. One mic, one voice. You can change the world, it's your choice. One mic, one voice. You can change the world, it's your choice. One mic, one voice. You can change the world, it's your choice.
Thank you for downloading the One Mic, One Voice show. This episode is brought to you by Blackened Studios. To learn more about Blackened Studios, go to blackenedstudios.com or visit their Facebook page. The views and opinions of the One Mic, One Voice podcast show do not reflect the views of Blackened Studios or our other sponsors.